Mic check 1 2 1 2. 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 I got a new flavor coffee, I got an old flavor rap. Equip the A1 tones to make you quick as relax. We boys hounding for the sounds. 2015, my bank account was nowhere to be found. Look at me now, hardcore composer, fall through the floor, spinning glitter in sunny shores, where we never know more. Promoters score off me, lab rats want the cheese. Flip your expectations with ease. Oh please, you say you're making big moves, adjust my aim by degrees. I see you breaking the rules before you know what they be. I'll see you taking for rides while I am giving the keys, because success loves to hide, but failure wants to be seen. But I won't give it the pleasure. I'm rising measure by measure. I'm making money by minutes, but keeping grip on my tether. I'm whipping the competition, collecting more hearts than Castlevania. Hit me to catch the jet set mania. If you feel it and you like the sound, something, say something. Bring a little closer now. Something, say something. Hard warm with the cold sound. Something, say something. Transform, then we roll say out. Something, say something. When you see me in the street, say something, say something. If you let the fresh beats pay something, pay something. New ideas each and every day. Something, pay something. I know they're gonna say something about how I'm rapping again. Most that grab my album don't know how I be grabbing the pen. I come and stab them again, they can't get mad at the kid. Just go look at what I did, put back the grind in your skid. It's just the biz, money talks, I only listen when I spend. Just to live, then I go and make it all back again. With millennial friends, celebrate the last day. Raise hella grab praise through a love drunk haste. I feel I'm falling, but the music props me up in ways. Haters calling, but the lovers lop it up. I just sway and sashay to the time. Into the beat in perfect lines, space correcting my spine. This is the only divine, I'll take my time. If you feel it and you like the sound, something, say something. Bring a little closer now. Something, say something. Hard warm with the cold sound. Something, say something. Transform, then we roll out. Something, say something. When you see me in the street, say something, say something. If you let the fresh beats pay something, pay something. New ideas each and every day. Something, pay something. Sometimes, actually a lot of times, actually never, people come up to me on the street and they say, hey, that guy raps. And I'm like, yeah. And they ask, hey, can you freestyle something for me real quick? You know, just real quick to prove your worth as a human being and as an artist. And I'm like, no, I can't actually, but I can dramatically arrange 7 to 10 layers of mouth sounds to make an entire instrumental. I can do that. I have a very talented mouth, and I can do it on my phone right now. And would you like me to do that? And they say, no. And I walk away.
I don't know why I love that moment in that song so much, but I really do. I like hearing that little monologue, even if it never happened, as he said. I just love hearing it. We're going to start in about a minute here. Oh, the song's ending. Actually, we're going to start now is what we're going to do, depending on what's next. Midnight in Tokyo, 4-minute song. Now we're going to start now. So I'm switching over. We're going to be doing some dolphin corruptions, but something a little bit unusual. Something that we haven't done here before, but something that's, I would say, more common. You've probably seen it before. Gamecube BIOS corruptions. Now, I'm going to be playing Tetris with a bunch of windows on screen since I have a lot of new stuff that I've been playing with. I've been part of the Real-Time Corruptor Discord, and I'm just now starting to get into some of their dev builds, which don't always work 100% of the time, but I do like the new dev build for the Windows Glitch Harvester. As you can see here, it has a nice new color scheme. It is much quicker for generating corruptions of large intensity. However, we won't be doing that today. As you can see, I actually already have the slider down to 27, a very low intensity since corrupting BIOS. We don't want to corrupt too high. But I think that's about it, actually. It all functions just about the same. It's just a nice new color scheme that I like looking at. On top of that, I have the new Real-Time Corruptor launcher, which I can now launch Dolphin directly from there, so I don't have to deal with an executable on my desktop or any kind of shortcut or anything like that. The problem with that is I also have to keep that window up constantly, and it's not the easiest window to deal with. It's very pretty, so I like it, but, you know, maybe I should have had the song in the background. Actually, I think we will. Let's do What should we have in the background? How about maybe something calming? I was gonna do like Mario Sunshine, but that's not very calming. How about Jurassic Park? No, it's not a calming soundtrack. I'm just gonna do Animal Crossing, which is awful, but we're gonna do the Animal Crossing soundtrack. Just to play in the background while we're doing this, since we're not gonna have a lot of music this stream anyways. Oh, right at the beginning. A very low bass there. Alright. In addition to dealing with the various windows that I have to play Tetris with, you're also going to notice that as soon as I begin a corruption, or as soon as I launch Dolphin, that instantly OBS won't pick up on the window, so you may have about a second or two of delay, in which case something might start happening in those 1 to 2 small seconds, and unfortunately I don't think I can make that any faster unless I capture my desktop, which I don't want to go through the motions of that. It's just window capture takes about a moment to catch up or to start up. As an example, I already have a corruption queued up that I started up a little bit earlier. It's just an intensity of 27, using a tilt type for the Nightmare engine. And if I go and load that, it's about the second I see the Gamecube icon, you'll see it, so we're about hand in hand. I also do notice this is stretched kind of weird, so we're going to adjust that. Oh, there's the actual size. There we go. What's going on with Sabitonic? Good to see you. Always good to see you. You and everyone else that's part of Odd Brew. So I think that's where we'll begin. We'll start making our corruptions. If anyone's unfamiliar with how I normally go about making corruptions, I'll play with these dials, and I'll explain a little bit of what I'm doing while I'm doing that. Starting off, I'm going to close down the emulation. I need to remember to do that every iteration. Since we're reloading the BIOS, we need to close down the emulation in order to generate that. Oop, and I had a Discord notification, just making sure. It's just saying that I'm live. Wonderful. Alright, so I'm going to clear out my history. And something that's a little finicky with GameCube corruptions are it's going to be a lot of iterations until we get something interesting. So buckle in, because we're going to be doing a lot of this. A lot of trial and error. I hope we won't crash as often. However, I did run into kind of a lot of crashes when I was iterating through it. I should probably be talking and doing this at the same time. If I do crash, I need to restart Dolphin. So there's that second delay. It's a couple seconds too late, which I don't care for, but we can always reload it as well. Anyway, so no corruption there. A little bit of a sound corruption if you heard that. This is kind of where I was finding those sound corruptions in this sort of domain. I'm going to knock it back a notch and see if we can get any better luck. I want some physical corruptions if I can get them. Clear history out. And I am using tilt types. I may switch that to random types later on. Tilt types are a little bit safer to corrupt, in my opinion. They're like a safer blast type. And that one doesn't have any effect, it just froze out. Some more sound stuff. Nothing physical yet. You will also notice, if I hit blast target, everything kind of freezes up for a sec. If we do a really large intensity, like this, you can kind of see a little bit up at the top. With the new version of Windows Glitch Harvester, it will give me a live feedback of like, it's corrupting the units now, it's applying the corruption, it's undoing the corruption, this or that, which is really nice because then it doesn't freeze up or lock up. It's sort of giving you feedback on what's going on. So you don't have to close it down because you thought it was too small of a corruption or something like that. This one actually did freeze up though. In a way it wasn't supposed to freeze up. Let's see, do we have a memory leak? We don't. Okay. I'm just gonna restart the Windows Glitch Harvester. The blast byte apply function threw up. This is not BizHawk's error, so you should probably send a screenshot to devs. ran into a possible race condition, so something to do with threading. It's freezing up. Just gotta wait a sec here. Okay. And restart that. Oh, unless it decides to do that awful stuff. There we go. Eventually I'll get a little bit better at this iteration, get faster at it. Okay. I gotta retarget that file. Luckily the Windows Glitch Harvester doesn't crash very often. I just did too high of an intensity to test it out. We're gonna keep our intensity around 40. Starting to address a little bit further. Let's try random blast types for the Nightmare Engine. Tilt types might only produce musical corruption, sickly swearhouse corrupting. And that one didn't do anything. Oh, it actually froze up Dolphin. Gonna restart that. As you can kind of see, a lot of trial and error goes into it. Luckily, when we have good ones, we can throw them on a stockpile now, so we don't have to worry about trying to track them down. Also, something I noticed I'm not doing, which I could do, is target a Dolphin within the Windows Glitch Harvester itself, anti-corrupting the menu. Let me actually give... Would that work? Let me give that a go real quick. So it would be, I load the corruption, or I load the basic emulation. Actually, I need to undo a corruption that we just had. So let me give that a go here. Can be a lot of force closing as well. Okay. Open up. Dolphin. Restore it back up. That's been restored. And I'm going to try and make it a safe state right at the very beginning. Okay. So that's good. Now, pause that up. I'm going to target Dolphin within the Windows Glitch Harvester. Since we're using Neri's mod, we're using a special modded version of Dolphin anyways. Now let me see if I can target that save state. Okay, got that. And give it an intensity. Nightmare Engine is still fine. Ooh, that scared me. Hey, baby, before hosting with 5 viewers, what's going on? Thank you, I appreciate the host. Give you some wasabi hellos. We're doing some GameCube corruptions. I'm not sure how well this will work, but we're gonna try it anyways. Actually, it's kind of freezing up a little bit. It's gonna keep doing that sort of transparent field. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Stream went a little better today. Turns out the same stage over and over again melts your brain. So you switched to some new stuff. Did slightly better today. That's awesome. And then now with that slightly better, better mindset, new strengthened, memory muscles. It is insane watching you play that game. I'm just gonna put that out there. I cannot believe what must go through your head in order to handle a bullet hell like that. Because I've seen some bullet hells in the past, and that is far beyond anything I've ever seen. So, OBS does this wonderful thing where if it captures a window, sometimes it will remove transparency on that window. No clue why. But what we're going to do is we're going to have to open our corruption windows and retarget them. Now you know what, we're just going to leave it. We're going to leave it like that. You played for over 2.5 years. When you first started playing, literally nothing about bullet hell. Okay, gotcha. I'm sure there's a lot of trial and error at that point. I have to watch more of that because it's almost like mesmerizing. I had it on the side and it was very enjoyable to watch. it's cool seeing, like, looking back and seeing how far you've come. That's always a very neat thing to do, especially when you have all, like, tracked up on Twitch. You can go back to see the olden days. Okay. I think I've almost got everything set. Target dolphin, anyway, safe state. Got that targeted. Now, intensity, starting address, try it. Oh, that scared me. I didn't have the window up. Did that do anything? I'm gonna try it again. Dolphin. It crashed. We're gonna have so many crashes today. Man. I gotta restart Dolphin. Then again, it's gonna get me really used to the new launcher for the Windows Glitch Harvester, which is good. Oof, a little bit of sound corruption at the end. Ah. Let's try like 50 for an intensity. Yeah, okay. So we stick to higher intensities. That's a good thing. Let me pause Animal Crossing a little bit. Dial back the starting address some more. That one freeze up? I think it did. No, we can still stop it at least. Now the problem with this is we're not getting a very concise corruption, in the sense that like we're just corrupting the BIOS and nothing else. We're also corrupting part of the ROM, I believe, because we have a save state with loading this ROM, so it's not the best alternative. And I think I'm gonna go back to corrupting just the ROM itself. Yeah, because we're not gonna get very good results at that. So switching back, targeting the ROM itself. Got that targeted. And what else do we need to do? Dolphin crashed, so we need to reload Dolphin. Intensity needs to knock down to, let's do 20 for a little bit. And like 11,000 was a good range, I think. Right around here. Okay. I'm gonna restore my backup. So it's a fresh, clean file. And then blast the target and reload it. So that one, just the big cube got stuck in the center. That's kind of cool. We can save this one, we'll call it Big Cube. That's good. Let's change the intensity a little bit. Give that another go. It couldn't quite get there. The little Gamecube that couldn't. Give that another go. That one doesn't load. This unloaded for about half a sec, then froze. No load. I should be dialing around the starting address a little bit, so I'm going to do that. A little bit of corruption right at the end there. Every time I open up Dolphin, I get a Windows tooltip saying, hey, press Windows G to capture what you just opened. I hate it so much. I never want to use that. And yet I tried uninstalling the Windows Game Xbox bar thing, and I ran into the strangest issue where I couldn't load any emulation after the fact. Now it's normal. I would run into some kind of runtime exception error with Microsoft or something along the lines of that, where nothing would load, and it was frustrating because I don't want that tooltip there. We're gonna have some wonderful sounds for this stream. Let's put Animal Crossing back. Dial back the intensity again, or the starting address, I should say. Give that another go. That one has no sound. Kind of fitting. That one's a crash. My ears. I have a compressor on the stream, so anything that's fairly loud on your guys' end is extremely loud for me. So that's like someone shouting in my ear. Okay, let's go way back. So we're in the 11,000 range. Let's try the 10,000 range a bit. Play around there. And froze up for a second there. All pretty normal. That's kind of a cool effect they got left on screen. Every time it crashes, it won't refresh the screen that you guys are seeing until we have a new corruption, so... Oh, there's a crash. Shoot, we had a run into it before that. We're going strong. Let's try the 8,000 range. Higher 8,000. I'm amazed that like 17 memory writes could completely stop it from running. We can try a tilt type. Might be a little bit better. Nope, that crashed it. Maybe not. I can't tell if I want to go closer to 0 or further away from 0. I think since we're running into like nothing so far, we might want to go further away from 0. Yeah, because all these are just crashes. Let's try that. Let's go to like 12,000. As a sanity check, I want to make sure everything's working alright. Let's do like intensity of 1. Okay. Just want to make sure it's still working at the very least. And 20 isn't an insane amount, but it's enough to crash it, I guess. Some more sound corruptions around there. Not too many physical ones yet. Ah, missed one. At the last second, a little bit of screeching. Right, like once we find a physical one that we like, then we can blast it a bunch of times at the same source address, but we have to find it first, so no luck so far. As making sure we can reload old corruptions, I'm checking if Big Cube is still one. Yeah, it is. Let's try re-rolling that a couple times, seeing the results of that. I'm going to clear out the history, select it, and hit re-roll. Oh, unless it crashes. Jesus. It doesn't like re-rolling as much as a safe check as well. I'm going to put a stockpile, make sure we don't lose it. We're going to call this Gamecube BIOS stock. And then I'll make sure every time we get a new item, we'll be sure to hit that save button. I don't know why the reroll seems to throw an exception. Something to do with trying to open a file that hasn't been closed properly by the program. Anyway, let's try loading a couple of these from the top. First one's a crash. Second one's a crash. And I think I see a trend developing. Yeah. Alright, clearing history, starting fresh. Now I'm just looking for effect, if anything. Let's try a really low intensity, make sure everything's still working alright. Intensity at 1. I'm gonna store my backup and reset it. Yeah, my backup's okay. I think I just have to restore my backup there. This one has no visuals on screen, so nothing out of the ordinary there. My ears. I was trying to move away from the sound once if possible, that's why I was moving around the range so much. Hey, there's something. Not quite too much, but we can still save it. We'll call it slow startup. And this is hopefully a good range. Let's keep corrupting around this area. I forgot that that was like one of the sounds you could do. That horrified. My heart jumped out of my chest when I heard that. There's no reason to keep that because it's just a normal stood up. Just funny to hear. My ears are in so much pain. I like that. That's like electro. Let's keep that. Electro. The cat's normal, by the way. Not part of the corruption. Okay, I really like this range, so let me save this somewhere. I'll put it in a notepad file. This starting address with intensity of 16 was a pretty good point to corrupt. And now I'm going to adjust these values, just see what else we can get out of it. If we can. Felt like the music died there for a sec. And back. What's going on, baby Blueford? So we got 3 so far. It's a very slow process. I like this electro one though. This sounds nice. That's not too bad. And we had a slow startup one. I'm gonna try re-rolling this, see if we get anything else out of it. My FPS gets locked at 5, or I can't pass 5. Let's see what else we can do with that. Might not be much. We can try sanitizing it, which, would that work? I don't know if I can sanitize corruptions like this. We can definitely try though. Yeah, we can. How about that? Okay. So let's sanitize this to its individual components. You'll notice does Blast Editor window look different? It does. A little different. We usually do vector corruptions with most of our Gamecube corruptions. The only difference here is we can actually edit the address values and the values that we send to memory, which will be useful when we're re-rolling our corruptions and create different effects. But we'll see that in just a sec. Unfortunately, since we're using, this was a tilt type corruption, we're not going to get to see that interesting results. We can try that. And sanitizing takes a lot longer. Okay, so I believe this is our one memory writes. Yes, it is. Okay. So I'm going to send that to the stash and throw it on the stockpile and call it slow startup. This is much more stable than our existing version. Good. And now we're going to re-roll that a couple times and see if we can get different effects. I'm also going to save my stockpile, haven't done that in a while. Don't want to lose it. And from the top. Okay, one non-visible corruption. One in a very similar, same fashion. Same. And same. Alright. All those are the same. Big cube I don't really want to sanitize. Electro we should sanitize. Luckily, with such a low intensity, it makes it kind of easy. Which is nice. Okay. Single memory write. That we didn't throw in the stash. Shoot. Alright, one more time. Okay. Send it to the stash now. Also, offset? I don't know what that does. There's a button that says offset, I don't know. Alright. It's on the stash now. We can call this Electro. And delete the other existing one. And now we can re-roll this. Very similar effect. I seem to be only able to re-roll once. After the fact, I get a bunch of exceptions. Not quite sure what that is. But the exception, well, as long as the value is still changing. So the initial value was 150, was 70, I think. Yeah, 70, and then this is 115, this one is 4, so yeah, we're still changing values that we're setting to memory, so it's not out of the ordinary. It's just, we're not getting different values from it. Yeah, I have too. Some of them, like, they are fantastic when I would watch them on YouTube, and man, I can only imagine how much time must have gone into some of those. Because it is a tedious and long process, but very rewarding, I think, at the end. And Super Mario ones too. True that, Super Mario corrupts extremely well. Especially, like, my favorite one to corrupt is Sunshine. It corrupts so dang well. It got you into watching corruptions. I think that's the first one I've seen. I was watching Vinesauce Vinny regularly at the time, and he streams corruptions here and there. He shoots stockpiles. So that's what originally got me into it, and then I really got into the idea of creating them when I watched Zero Ducks Given. It's such an amazing game of corrupts. I had a fantastic stockpile that I loved. I think it's still in my drive somewhere. I should add to that. They're very fun to corrupt. I watched, which one? Vinny or Zero Ducks Given? Or Welsh Gamer, back when I watched him, I guess. Oof. Oof. Vinny, I love Vinny. It's hard for me to miss one of his streams, I would say. I will be on that as soon as possible. I love his band, I love Redbox. I keep wanting to play his band, his music at the beginning, but I'm worried about copyright. I don't want to do that, but I love his music. So much about that guy. Vinny Pizza Pasta. I just got finished watching his, what was it? Well, I've been watching all his Metal Gear series from 1 to 4. I just finished up 4. And you discovered Zero Ducks Given much later. Yeah, I think I discovered Zero Ducks Given when I just got started corrupting, and I was looking for like a place to start because I wasn't sure how you really begin. And I think I found some of his Gamecube stuff, his early Gamecube stuff. Recently I was watching him, he was doing a, I think 360 corruptions on stream, which is awesome. I believe you can do that with a Windows Glitch Harvester. Oh, you can't see this one, but there's a really tiny cube up at the top right. How would I capture this? I'll do it like this. That's not gonna work. Here. Put that, and there's this really tiny brick. Oh, I'm messing everything up now. There we go. Right at the top there. Been lurking just like to the chat. Hey, I appreciate it. Hopefully we get some more interesting corruptions here. It takes a while. This is gonna be a very tedious one, but thank you for stopping by. I appreciate the support. I know, right? It just sits there at the top. There we go. Alright, do we save this one? Ah, unfortunately not. Just because it doesn't go to video capture. That cube is something. Let's close this down and blast her a couple more times. We're in a good, like, range, though. There's stuff around here that we're hitting. We're just not hitting it very often. I love Joel too. He doesn't stream very often though, or at least his schedule doesn't line up with mine very well when he does stream. Good stuff though. His what was it? Wasabi Tonic sent me the new Ghostbusters trailer. If you saw that, it was like a teaser trailer for the third one, which I'm indifferent about. I didn't care for the second one too much. I don't know how I feel about the third one. I hope they do a good job. That's all I'm gonna say. But he was like, "Oh, you excited to hear the motif?" They played the old song from the older movies. I was like, "That's all right, but you got to play the real motif." And I did. I could probably play this on stream. I already played. It's midway through. So there's that. You have no schedule for streaming? It's hard to have a schedule. I always just say I'm going to stream every day and then just, I don't know when during the day I'm just going to stream. But if you haven't seen that, I highly recommend, before you see the new Ghostbusters, you got to see Joel's album for it. There's some quality garbage in that. Not even garbage, it's like quality recycling. It's so good. Hey, there's a corruption. That's a good one too. Hell yeah. What would you call that? Vertical climb. Looks like it draws like a little 8 there. Nice corruption, hell yeah. That's why you have a 3-day schedule, can't guarantee any other times. Oh. No, yay. That's not a bad idea. Having a small schedule that you can, like, no matter what you can hit, and then you can plan the rest of the week to hit it. I like that idea. I feel like I should probably move towards that. If I get busy with, like, a more full-time job and I move towards a schedule like that, for the time being, I'm okay with doing a 1 day. Or doing a stream every day. It does feel like a Friday. I didn't have class today. I'm a university student, and class got called off, so it really feels like a Friday for me. We're going to sanitize this corruption a bit. It's kind of weird sanitizing without an emulator running in the background. I'm not used to it. Alright, single memory write. Send it to the stash. Throw it on the stockpile and call it vertical climb. And then from there we'll be able to re-roll that a little bit and check out what else we can make out of that. Code history, re-roll plus inject. It's the same kind of shape. 169 to memory, and this one sends 169, so that makes sense. Reroll again. This should send at least a different value to memory. Yeah, and so I get... what do we get there? Maybe different locations in the camera? We can try manually editing these values and take a look at what it actually does. It's just the 8 again. 49. Let's send... What happens if we send 0 to memory? Corrupt plus execute. Nope, I don't think I did that right. I didn't. Update. Corrupt. Load. Okay, that one's 8. Let's do... I don't know what the max value is. Oh, we can't do F value, so... We can go all the way to 1,000, alright. Let's do... 200. This is where rerolling comes in handy. You don't have to do as much guess and check like I am. You can just kind of let the randomness do it for you. That's not a bad one. Well, let's see that one too. It's kind of like a flat vertical. I'm hoping with these sort of sanitized corruptions we can throw them together somehow, if that will even work. That one was 400, let's try 600. It's funny, it kind of defaults to that figure 8. Actually, I'm even going to call it figure 8, because that's what it reminds me of. Let's do 1,000. same old. How about 5,000? Yeah, no changes there too much. We can try messing around with source address, like let's bump it up by 1. I don't know if this will have any effect, it might just not work at all. Also, let's keep the intensity down at like 200. Yeah, so that just doesn't load. And going back in the other direction by 1. Loads, but we have no visual. You love the Gamecube intro screen memes. Oh yeah, the ones where like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like the song plays and then like someone gets smacked at the very end when you hear that last like little sound. I'm picturing one very specific one in my head. Actually, you know the one where let me see if I pull it up. There's like he's at a gas station and he drops his like icy on the floor, and it's sad but it's hilarious too. Yep, this is the one. Can I capture this on stream? I don't know if I can. It starts playing Toto, yes! That one's a great one. Oh man. I wonder how they got to do that now that I think about it. Yeah, they just animated themselves. To capture a browser. I know I can do that. This is a good test. This is something that I've not done before. So let's give this a go. We may see some of my bookmarks, but I think that's okay. Yeah. There's a browser window. We're gonna cut all that stuff off. Alright, enough of that. What is this window? Window capture, delete. And let's go back. It makes you feel bad. You just wanted to have an IC. It was probably a hot day. Let's get a little bit of music in the background again. I think one of these tracks is like muted, but I thought, oh, I guess it's not from Nintendo. Yeah, we'll skip ahead a little bit. Okay. Oh, ears. Ah. Okay. Yes, much better after that terrible sounding one. Oh, is that a dolphin crash? It is. We haven't had that in a while. Alright, let's pull that back up. I think I'm fairly quick at getting it back up now though, so it shouldn't be a problem. I'd like to stay in this range if possible, but I think we're going to move out of it now. Funnily enough, this is actually close to where we had really good results before. We're about, let's say, 20 memory addresses away. 20 memory addresses, 20 bits away? Is that the proper term? Just figure it. Cool, got that. Let's move the starting address, I guess, a little bit. I already wrote down to keep track of it. It sounds like Halloween music. It sounds great. I'm a big fan of Halloween and Halloween type music. Well, it's not like horror music, it's not like, you know, metal or anything like that. It's just like, you know, in games when they have the special track for Halloween. They had it in Bully, they had it in Animal Crossing, definitely. The other games are now drawing me a blank. But that's my favorite holiday. Christmas is alright. I mean, if you celebrate that kind of thing. Alright, we're keeping that one. That was a great one. It's gonna be terrible to hear over and over again for the next couple tries. I don't know why I'm sanitizing. It's not like anyone's gonna play any longer and like check if it crashes. I guess I just like being in the habit of sanitizing. And this is a new method of sanitizing for me, so that's kind of exciting. Alright. One more time. Oh, and I didn't send it to the stash. Oh wait, I can still see the memory address on stream. It is... Shoot, I just missed it. Alright. I have to manually do it again. Shoot. The send to stash button is the one I'm forgetting. At the end of doing this. At least it's not like 2,000 memory writes that I'm messing up on. Only 20 or so. Okay, great. Send to the stash. I got an error, but I think it's okay. We're gonna throw it on the stockpile and call it repeat. Repeat after me. And I want to verify that works because I got an exception when I tried that. Yep, works. Alright. Let's try re-rolling that now. Same effect. Same effect. Yeah. I think that's good range. Alright. From the top. Halloween is fun for kids and adults. When you're a kid, you get free candy. That's like the best day. And when you're an adult, you get to dress up if you're into that, or you get to have like parties if you go to parties, or you get to look at skeleton memes on your computer before you stream like I do. Oh, and I just had Skeletor queued up too before I closed off my window. Shoot. Well, we're gonna still pull them up since we have so much downtime in between each corruption. I'll just have this guy ready. Oh, it's still there. Oh, never mind. Now we're good. Dress up as Forrest Gump. That's pretty awesome. That's a cool costume idea. What do you got with that? You got the jacket, the iconic jacket. Oh, Dolphin Crash, man. Let's pull up a picture of Forrest Gump. Iconic jacket, you got that sort of checkered shirt on, all that kind of stuff. That's a cool costume idea. Yeah, I love Tom Hanks. My favorite movie that Tom Hanks was in was, and this is, a lot of people don't agree with this, sadly, but it was Sully. I love Sully. That plane movie. And I think the reason why I liked it so much is I don't know if there's any PS3 or PS4 fans out there, but I'm a big fan of Nathan Drake, that whole series, Uncharted. And there's a character in there called Sully, after the pilot Sully. And it was just a little bit more Sully than I could handle, and it was great. I loved it. Oh, you didn't have the jacket, but you had a checkered shirt and khakis? Hey, checkered shirt and khakis. That is enough to complete the image and tacky shoes. I forget what his shoes look like in that show. In not that show, in that movie. Forrest Gump shoes. Now I'm curious. That's right, Jenny had to buy him new shoes, didn't she? Yeah. Got the Nikes. But yeah, tattered shoes, I getcha. And see, that's why Halloween's great. You can be someone else and have fun. It's awesome. Ah, dolphin crashed again. Shoot. Depending on which culture you're associated with or around. Oh, it crashed at the second time. I forgot to restore it. Not Halloween specifically, but you have stuff like Day of the Dead and... Oh no, I can't think of any other cultures. Now I feel bad. Cultures similar to Halloween. The Hungry Ghost Festival in Hong Kong. Day of Dracula in Romania. That sounds amazing. They got a old hat. I was wondering if you had like sort of a ball cap for him. I guess that would work, depending if you had long hair or not, because I know... oh, I keep doing it. I crashed Dolphin again. No. Because he has really short hair, so you'd have to, I don't know, I guess cut your hair to commit. Unless you had the ball cap. It wasn't the exact hat, but it was pretty close. Hey, it's not a full cosplay, so, unless you're going for cosplay. Halloween is a little more relaxed, I feel like. Cosplay's awesome though. People that do that. I'm in a big city now. I've never been in a big city before. And there's so much stuff here. There's like events and people going to like gaming conventions and comic conventions and doing cosplay and this and that. It's amazing, but I don't have any of the social skills to go any of those. Oh, you got the short hair anyways. I gotcha. Or you keep short hair. So you still had the outfit. Even in spirit, even though you're wearing the cap, you still have the short hair underneath. You can relate very closely. I don't think I've dressed up once, or I've done like a full-on costume, and it was like in my later years where I still dressed up. And it was after I like just mimicked someone that I worked with. He was like a boss guy, so I mimicked one of my bosses essentially. Who was bald, so I shaved my head bald to mimic him. I regretted the decision immediately because it's kind of cold where I live. But that's about it. I don't dress up much either. And growing back hair when you're bald is not fun. I highly recommend a beanie or other some form of hat if you ever have to go down that route. Oh, this one's kind of something. Let me see. If I restore the backup and just run it normally, I think there's some like texture thing going on. Yeah, like the cube isn't so shiny in this one. Kind of lose its shadow. Oh, you did it because you're friend. Hey, that's awesome. Having friends to do it with you and like encourage you to go out and have fun. If you're doing it alone, I mean, it's tough to enjoy it when you do it alone. Or at least I feel like I wouldn't enjoy myself too much. But if you had someone there to talk to and like do a bit with, that's much better, man. I'd like to say this. Let's see. This is one that I would want to keep it itself. I would want to combine with another corruption. doesn't text much, but it was great. I hope you save pictures. Moments like that deserve to be captured. Okay, we got that saved. People don't text me much, but I try as much as I can. I use, oh, no. I use, I mean, for texting, I don't really text people anymore. I used to way back in the day when I first got a phone, and it was all about texting, and you had your new phone. Nowadays, though, I use Facebook Messenger, I guess, to talk to people, and people that don't use Discord. I mean, I use my Discord for almost everything, either voice chat or use the IRC channels for this and that. But other than that, if I'm talking to people that don't game or anything like that, like Facebook Messenger, I don't really text as much anymore. You stay on the internet because it's easier to hang out with people without being there. That is so true. And yeah, that is very true. That's the reason why I love Discord. I mean, shoot, you have your little groups, your little chat places. Alright, back. Sorry about that. Plus, you get the anonymity. That's very true, and I'm actually super into being anonymous. It's fantastic. Won't say my name or anything like that. I prefer not to. It's any kind of level or barrier I can put up between my identity and how I talk online is A-okay in my book. What are we calling this? We're going to call this just Shadow Cube. And we could try re-rolling it. I don't think we're really not getting too many results with re-rolling in general. So I think we're not going to get anything with this. We can just start normal corrupting once again. We had a couple so far though. Nope, dolphin crash. Most likely, yeah. Hard crash too, we gotta force close it. Do you remember the days of Skype? I haven't touched that client in forever. I'm glad Discord took over. In a sense. I'm glad they're doing better, because I like their model much better. Although I am glad Skype was free when it was. Otherwise I would never have used it. Oh. I'm gonna change the starting address a little bit. Nope, there's one. A little bit right at the end. There's hotkeys for corrupting. I really need to set those up. Because that sounds like heaven. But I don't have it set up yet. I'd really like to, too. Let me just real quick check what they are. Where they are and all that kind of stuff. You sure want to clear the stockpile? No, I don't want to clear the stockpile. In fact, I need to save it. Hotkeys are through options, hotkey settings. Nope, maybe not. I know it was in the older version of the Windows Quick Harvester. It may not be in the new one, unfortunately. I may make a note about that. Yeah. So we don't have Windows Quick Harvester settings within here, unfortunately. So, alright, we'll keep going with the same method. It just makes it a little bit quicker if you can hit like auto corrupt, hitting a button instead. Skip the music ahead a little bit to get back to actual music. Okay, I want to be sure we have sound. I may have messed up something in the settings. I hope not, because we haven't seemed to have any sound. Okay, we do. Just making sure. Sanity check. Ah, there's one. Unfortunately, just more like awful noise corruptions. I want to see some visuals. It's giving me shivers hearing that. Ah, dolphin crash. Load that back up. Secondary dolphin crash. Let's go ahead and bring the range. Let's go backwards. So our like good range was at. Okay, it was past where we are now, so actually this is a good place to start. Oh, I just realized my voice video capture device. Oh. That wasn't bad. What sort of stress was that at? That was at... Oh, no, I forget. Right around here, though. Do you want to keep that one specifically? I don't know. Let me try that again. See what it looks like. Nah, not really. It doesn't do much. It only lasts for about half a second. That one's mostly normal. Oh, that one froze up for me too. Double freeze up. Oh, sounds so bad. Dolphin crash. I love that. Secondary dolphin crash. We're gonna move away from this memory range a little bit. Ah, my ears. Just battering them. I'm gonna turn down my volume a bit. I don't think it affects the stream as much. Just be a tiny effect. Much better. Well, we're coming up just about to the hour-and-a-half mark, where I think I'm gonna have to call it for the night. Double check if we get any last ones here. Doesn't seem to be the case. I do want to double check if we can combine any of these together. So let's let's sanitize BigCube, because we had that one. I want to see if that's playable, because it seems to get big. Not playable, I guess it would run to completion. Doesn't look like it would, but we can keep trying. Please sanitize it down to 1 memory, right? Now, it doesn't look like it will run, but we have a single memory, right? So it's much cleaner in the end. We can call this BigCube. Delete the old one. And now we need to figure out what would we mix with this with. So, still startup we're not going to be able to keep. Electro we can keep. Let's try mixing this with like figure 8. See how that runs. That's kind of cool. I like combining effects like that. I'm not going to keep that specific one, but it's nice to know we can. Flat vertical is just another version or reroll of figure 8s. Also, look at that new symbol. That's the new Gamecube symbol. It's like a chair, but it's a Euclidean chair? No, not Euclidean. Whatever that shape is, that's impossible to draw. Repeat after me was that repeat one. Let's do that with Electro. Curious what those effects are like. Oh, much worse. Stop. Oh, much worse than I can imagine. Alright, we're not gonna do that. Shadow Cube wasn't too interesting. It was only a small texture corruption, so nothing we're gonna throw together yet. However, I think if I need a real quick stream, brr. So loud. My ears are deafened from this stream. I'm gonna save the stockpile, and I think I'll come back to this infrequently here and there. Whenever I don't have a game to corrupt, I might do some more Gamecube corruptions here every once in a while, just to test it out and sort of build a nicer, larger stockpile on stream. So far, we have a good number of them. About, 7. And as we corrupt it a little bit more, as we import the stockpile and create larger ones, we can combine those effects together to create more interesting corruptions. In the current state, they might not be too interesting, but those hybrid ones definitely are. So I think we'll leave it there for the time being. We're going to switch scenes here, go to our starting screen. In terms of music, what do we play for music? Something in me wants to play more Jet Set. That's what we're going to play. So thank you for everyone who was able to stop by. Thank you, Baby Boo, for the host of 5. I appreciate that. Nintendo fam, thank you for stopping by. Same for Wasabi Tonic. I appreciate all of you. And yeah, I'll be streaming again tomorrow, most likely. I'm not sure what I'm streaming yet, though. If anyone has any suggestions, feel free to throw them out at any point or DM me. I'm down to play, usually whatever, depending on if it corrupts well. And yeah, let's find someone to host here. I've been watching a lot of... I'll actually throw their Twitch down here too. If you're not familiar with Red Pepper, he has this fantastic camera of just chickens on his property, and I watched that for I think 2 or 3 hours today. Just watching the chickens. On the side, of course, not like intensely watching them or anything like that, but yeah, it's a good Twitch channel. I love the idea behind it. And I'm taking just a moment here to find someone else. I usually glance around a little bit, see what everyone's doing. We got a lot of people in retro lately, which is fantastic. I love seeing more people out. I think I got someone else here, so we're going to transfer over in just a moment here. Once again, thank you everyone for was able to stop by. I'll see you in the next one.